Hey guys, this video is going to be talking about Season 7, Episode 11, spoilers of the Clone Wars for the episode that just dropped, Shattered. If you guys haven't watched it, please do not watch this video for the love of God. Go watch it by yourself, come back here and listen to my thoughts. So the title of the video is probably something like, Why the Clone Wars is Saving the Prequels, something like that. Now, for those of you who do not know, I am not the largest fan of the prequels. I still respect them for the lore and the Star Wars community that it has fostered. But for me, the prequels has always been about Order 66. It's always been about this huge secretive coup, overthrowing the Jedi, bringing about the new Imperial regime, obviously Emperor Palpatine, seizing his power entirely. Order 66 is the fundamental, center of that story for me. And unfortunately, the prequels lack, in my opinion, is developing a story that actually portrays the emotional magnitude of such an event. The sheer thought of you being overthrown by an entire army in an instant should be absolutely detrimental and horrifying to anybody, but unfortunately when we see these events unfold in Episode 3, I just don't really care for any of the characters and impacts. In Episode 1, Obi-Wan reluctantly takes up Anakin as his Padawan, and something he never wanted to do. Episode 2 immediately opens with Obi-Wan openly and publicly berating his Padawan, and then Anakin starts to complain a lot about Obi-Wan, and there's a few lines in the movies where Obi-Wan says you're like a brother or whatever like that, but we just never get a sense of that feeling. I'd say the majority of conversations between Anakin and Obi-Wan, they're either going against and headbutting each other, or Obi-Wan's yelling at Anakin for something. Point is, there's no sense of a relationship. So at the end, ultimately in Episode 3, when we see Anakin and Obi-Wan duel on Mustafar, there's really not any significant emotional feeling invoked, at least personally. Now, in relation to Order 66 and the Clone Wars, obviously we see this unfold in Episode 3, and there are a handful of Jedi who do get slain, unfortunately, by their clones. We have Ki-Adi-Mundi, Plo Koon, and a bunch of other people like that. But the sad thing is, for me, in the movies, we didn't see these people. We didn't see them at all. We have no connection to the characters. So when we see these Jedi Knights get betrayed by the clones in Order 66, there is virtually no meaning to anything. Yes, we understand and comprehend this is sad, this is their leader, and the clones are killing them. But other than that, there's no internal, personal, emotional thing that we're feeling for these characters, and there's no connection. This is where the Clone Wars comes in and I think saves the entire day. If you think about it, Episode 11 basically revolves around Ahsoka and Rex. Rex we've known since the very beginning of the Clone Wars series, and I guess you could say the same for Ahsoka, even though she left in about season, I think it was 5. The point is, we've seen these characters grow and develop with stories, with personality traits that we've seen throughout the entire series. So when the events of Order 66 happen, especially when Rex gets that first command from Emperor Palpatine, that hits you hard because you know that Rex has been someone that's been there for Ahsoka. In fact, when Ahsoka came back earlier in the season, Rex had everyone change their helmets to 332nd in honor of Ahsoka. He's making sure everyone's still treating Ahsoka like the commander that she was before she left the Order. There's a beautiful, beautiful scene in Episode 11 where Rex does get that message from Palpatine, and you see this inner struggle go on with him. You see him debate on what he wants to do, and he gets the very last words out before he entirely goes crazy. He says, "Go to 5s.
Find him. Find him. 5s.
Find him!
So he is able to pull out those last words, inadvertently saving both of them. And then looking at it from Ahsoka's standpoint, she has no idea this is happening. You can go back and watch the episode and you can see all the facial expressions and just the magnitude of what's actually happening.
Rex?
And so when Rex says, "I'll do it myself," when he's talking about killing Commander Tano, that meant something. That meant a betrayal of friendship, obviously unwilling on behalf of Rex. You still got to feel the sense of betrayal, and that's what Order 66 is about. It's about betrayal. So when the Order involves characters like Rex and Ahsoka, characters that we have known and loved for a very long time, and we see this happen, it means so much more than what I was able to personally experience in Episode 3. So that's the reason why Episode 11 for me is the best episode of the entire Clone Wars series. I have been waiting for the Clone Wars ever since they came back to touch on this area in Star Wars lore and history. And for me personally, the episodes and the entire series as a whole builds a storyline in which the audience can actually care for Ahsoka and think and understand about everything that she's gone through and all the battles and stories they've had together with her and Rex. And I can only imagine what her reaction is going to be in the next episode, when I'm assuming she's going to find out about Anakin for real. So I guess this was kind of like an impromptu rant video, but I just felt like saying this because it's what I've been waiting for as a Star Wars fan, and Episode 11 finally brought that into fruition. So I'm just happy we were able to see Order 66 and capture it the way it was supposed to be captured. So guys, let me know down below in the comments what you think of what I had to say today. I know a lot of you probably disagree, which is absolutely fine. Now, once the Clone Wars ends, I'm going to give my basically entire series wrap-up thoughts into one long podcast-styled video. So guys, make sure you subscribe down below with the bell icon and click that way you guys know as soon as that video goes live. But until then, I will see you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.